Airplanes are lying to you, and it's keeping you alive. Subheading: the biggest secret in the sky isn't that safety is an illusion, it's the opposite. Every inch is mathematics dancing with death. An open trap at 33,000 feet. Right now, you're sitting in your seat. Outside, the temperature is minus 56 degrees Celsius. No oxygen, no pressure, no sound. And that door next to you, it's not locked. Only physics is keeping it closed. An invisible hand weighing 8 tons. But here's the really strange part. If the same plane were parked on the ground, even a 7-year-old could open that door. So why can't anyone open it when you're in the air? And why are windows oval? The fuselage cylindrical? Wings curved? The tail V-shaped instead of horizontal? Because airplanes aren't built according to your logic. They're built according to the laws of physics. They're designed to survive. And these two things are often opposites. Airplanes don't fly. They're constantly falling. Now let me tell you the first lie. Airplanes don't fly. They fall in a controlled manner. The engines don't keep you in the air. The wings do. But how? The upper surface of the wing is curved, the lower surface is flat. Air passing over the top travels a longer distance, speeds up, pressure drops. Air below is slower, pressure is higher. Result: the airplane is literally pushed upward from below. But here's the crazy part. Even if the engine stopped, a Boeing 737 could glide for 100 miles. So airplanes don't fall. They fall according to plan. The pilot's job is to manage this fall. Why are we 6 miles high? Wrong answer. Safety. People say altitude is for safety. No. The real reason: economics. At high altitude, the air is thin. Thin air, less drag, less fuel. If a plane flew at sea level, it would burn twice as much fuel for the same distance. But there's another reason: traffic. Yes, the sky is much more crowded than you think. At any moment, there are approximately 10,000 active aircraft in the world, and they're all traveling in invisible highway lanes. 33,000 feet, Bakars eastbound lane. 35,000 feet, Bakura westbound lane. They don't cross each other, but sometimes they do. That's when the TCAS system kicks in. Automatic collision avoidance. The planes command each other. You descend, I'm climbing. Why isn't that door locked? Physics acts as the lock now for the real bombshell. The pressure differential acting on a Boeing 737 emergency exit door equals the weight of 8 SUVs, approximately 8,000 pounds of force. So to open that door, you'd need the strength to lift 8 cars. Physically impossible. That's why you see viral videos of passenger trying to open door on airplane. But none of them succeed. Because the system is designed so cleverly, it doesn't need a lock. The door opens inward. The pressure pushes it outward. So to open the door, you first need to pull the door inward. But the pressure prevents this. Humans cannot fight physics. And aircraft designers know this. That's why airplanes are designed to defeat humans. Safety is based not on trust, but on hostility. Why is the fuselage cylindrical? Airplanes are giant pressure tubes. Why is the aircraft fuselage cylindrical? Because in nature, circular shapes distribute pressure most evenly. If the airplane were square, stress concentrates at corners. Metal fatigues. Cracks. Rectangular, flat surfaces bulge. Structural integrity compromises. But a cylinder, it distributes pressure evenly across 360 degrees. An airplane is essentially like a flying Coca-Cola can. The inside is pressurized, the outside is empty. The difference? 8 times atmospheric pressure. Yes, you read that right. The inside of the plane is 8 times denser than outside. That's why your ears pop. That's why an opened bag of chips expands. Because you're inside a giant pressure chamber, and the fuselage is the only thing holding this bomb together. Square windows. Aviation's bloodiest mistake. The 1950s. De Havilland Comet, the world's first commercial jet airliner. Modern. Fast. Revolutionary and deadly. In 1954, 2 comets exploded in mid-air in succession. The cause was unclear. Engine, pilot error, sabotage. No. Window shape. The comet's windows were square, and the corners of square windows became crack initiation points under pressure. Engineers only discovered this after disassembling the aircraft and repeatedly pressurizing it in a water tank. Today, this crash is still taught in engineering schools because this was the first disaster that taught design can kill. And it led to this lesson. There are no sharp corners in nature. Open your eyes. Leaves are oval. Oxygen masks don't save you. They just buy time. If cabin pressure drops, the masks fall. People think, this will keep me alive for hours. No, the masks only provide oxygen for 12-15 minutes. Why? Because the goal isn't to save you, it's to buy the pilot time. At 33,000 feet, if pressure drops, your brain reaches the threshold of unconsciousness in 15 seconds. The masks extend that to 15 minutes. In that time, the pilot initiates emergency descent, drops to 10,000 feet, reaches an altitude where you can breathe without oxygen. The mask's job isn't to protect you forever, it's to keep you alive long enough for the pilot to land. The system is built on sacrifice. The airplane mode myth. Phones won't crash the plane, but your phone won't crash the plane, but it can create interference in the pilot's headset. And in aviation, interference is more dangerous than technical failure. Because technical failure, pressurized system gives warning. Human confusion, Racco's system is silent. Tests conducted in the 1980s. 500 phones on simultaneously. Signals interfere with each other. Radio frequency disrupted. Today's phones are more advanced, but the rule still applies. Why? Because aviation is the only industry that tries to reduce risk to zero. The automotive industry accepts. Accidents happen. Aviation doesn't accept. Accidents should not happen. Not happen. That's why phones are off. That's why seatbelts are fastened. That's why every detail is controlled. Because at 6 miles high, there's no luxury of probably. Why do you drink tomato juice on planes? Your senses are lying to you. The most ordered drink on airplanes. Tomato juice. You never drink it on the ground. You drink it in the air. Why? Because high altitude changes your senses. Pressure drops. Humidity drops. Nasal dryness. Tasteability decreases by 30%. Sweet tastes fade. Bitter tastes disappear. But umami, tomato, mushroom, meat broth stays strong. That's why airlines add extra salt and spices to their meals. Some airlines test their menus in flight simulators. Same noise, same pressure, same humidity. Because food that's perfect on the ground can taste like garbage in the air. The plane doesn't change you, it changes physics, and you adapt to it. Closing. Why are airplanes the safest vehicle in the world? According to 2023 data, risk of death by airplane, 1 in 11 million. Every crash generates a report, changes a design, adds a rule, saves a life. In the automotive industry, an accident happens. Insurance pays, life goes on. In aviation, an accident happens. The entire world stops. Airplanes aren't safe because they're perfect. They're safe because they're forced to become perfect. And today, sitting next to that unlocked door, you're taking the safest journey in the world. Because airplanes are machines that don't forgive mistakes. What protects you in the sky isn't technology. It's the lessons left behind by the dead.